Missed the first game of the preseason because of injury. First time he'd missed games in his football career. Keenan McDougall started last week. He's out with a dislocated shoulder. Hand off and a big gain here. A first down and some nifty footwork from Brandon Whitaker.
Over 100 yards rushing in week 1 for Brandon Whitaker. He also chipped in with 57 yards on a nice deep ball down the sideline for a touchdown in the passing game. But that's a great cut right at the line of scrimmage to bounce it outside. And then he goes one-on-one with Macho Harris, who had some issues tackling in week 1, and brings Whitaker to the ground there.
12-yard gain for Whitaker. First and 10 Argos, and looked like Brackenridge jumped the gun as flags fly.
I think that's the second time, Chris. It's just his timing is a little bit off, because Tyron Brackenridge is the best safety in the league at the safety blitz, and the timing of it last year.
There were times last year when he looked offside, and when you slowed up the tape, he'd hit it perfectly and was onside.
Offside. Toronto number 13. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Well, they're going to call Kevin Elliott offside.
Well,
looked like that could have gone either way.
No, it looked like it was clear to me that Brackenridge jumped it.
Oh, but Elliott clearly went there too.
He's even ahead of Brackenridge.
Yeah, there's timing off there. Looks like the Argos were well offside, but no flag. And Whitaker gets outside. And Brandon Whitaker pushed out near the first down stick by Jeff Knox.
Love the call here from Scott Milenovich to go with this screen on first down. You get the penalty on the offside, so you're first down. So even if this screen is only going to net you about 5 or 6 yards, you get that penalty yardage back. It's a great call on first down. It's more of a longer shot, obviously, on second down. We see that happen to try and surprise the defense. I like Scott Milenovich calling that on first down, and he moves the chains. That's a bonus.
Well, you talk about having timing from this vantage point. Owens hit that line of scrimmage apparently perfectly. It almost looked like he was a stride or two beyond, but no flag. 15 yards and a first down. Fake to Whitaker, and there's Hazelton. A stutter step, and the Roughriders rally to the football and bring him down. Finished off by the defensive end, John Chick.
Well, they're not wasting any time trying to get Tyron Brackenridge involved. They're getting him down on the line of scrimmage. This is the third that I've seen. And he comes upfield as if to rush. Trevor Harris sees it. It's a little screen to his wide receiver out the left side of the formation and reacts, redirects, and goes and gets involved in the tackle.
Should be the final play of the first quarter. Just 3 possessions. 9th play of this drive for Toronto. Harris over the middle. And it's another second down conversion. And Chad Owens with the catch this time.
Took a big hit there from Jake Dowdy, a middle linebacker.
Final play of the opening quarter. Argos threatening, and the game tied. Both teams looking sharp in the opening 15 minutes here at Mosaic. It's a pretty well-executed, sustained offense in the opening quarter.
Yeah, the passing numbers don't jump off the page there, but I thought both quarterbacks looked sharp. Kevin Glenn in his opening drive got him right down to the goal line. Then Toronto played well on defense there and 2 running plays to Jerome Messam. And Trevor Harris has been sharp. Both backup quarterbacks to start the year, and both look good.
We may have to drop that backup tag, but at the start of the year, you might have expected this to be Ray against Durant, but both look very capable doing what they're doing right now.
Yeah, the Saskatchewan Roughriders way better off than they were a year ago when Durant went down, and they went with an inexperienced Tino Sunseri, who's back on the roster, but it's Kevin Glenn's team now, and he looks sharp in his first drive.
Man, Trevor Harris looking in control. As they've said, it's Trevor's team, and the man out of Edinburgh has looked good, and you're telling me the Flying Scots are all excited about their quarterback.
Flying Scots. I went to the Edinburgh website, and Trevor Harris' picture is all over it with the headlines, career day for Trevor Harris. of the Fighting Scots and Fort McMurray.
Fighting Scots. They weren't flying. Okay.
Fighting Scots.
One other player from Edinburgh has played in the Canadian Football League, and he has Roughrider ties, Jeremy O'Day. So now working against the wind. In the score zone, 1st and 10 for the Argos. And Harris to the wide side. He's got a completion. And Kevin Elliott blasted by Brackenridge. There's a vintage Tyrone Brackenridge stop on the play.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well-executed offensive play by the Argos, but this is the intensity that Brackenridge will bring to the lineup. Watch the hit.
But Elliott holds on, 6'3", 213, 11 on the play, and a 1st and goal. See if the Argos can cash. Fake to Whitaker, out of the backfield, touchdown! Kevin Elliott has his first Canadian Football League touchdown. Boy, you take that big hit, you get rewarded with a chance to put it in the end zone.
Well, you mentioned the size of Kevin Elliott. I mean, he's a big man at 6'3", 213 pounds coming out of that backfield on that little push screen, receiver screen after the hit from Brackenridge. No big deal for Elliott. Jumps back in, catches that, and walks in the end zone.
Scott Milanovic said he's not Jamel Richardson, but he's that type of receiver. Big, strong, good hands, with speed. And Elliott in the end zone, and
first TD for him.
Pepper against the wind will attempt a 32-yarder for the extra point. And the kid is off to a terrific start. 11 plays, 70 yards, most of it with the wind, and then the touchdown for Kevin Elliott, putting the...
Chris, you mentioned off the top that last week for Saskatchewan, tackling was an issue. Terrell Mays has a shot at Elliott here, but he drops his head, does not keep his head up, and tackle with his eyes, and because of that, had a chance to maybe stop Elliott before the goal line, missed the tackle. Touchdown Toronto. That was an issue last week. Rearing its ugly head again.
3 possessions in the game and 3 scores, a field goal and a touchdown for the Argos, a field goal for Saskatchewan. As Pfeffer has to reset the football as he gets set to kick into the wind. And Swayze Waters hurt last week. Quad injury has him sidelined. Good boot, hangs up in the air, brought down by Tristan Jackson. And Jackson is cut down. Brendan Galanders with the tackle as we join Lee Jones.
Forest fires have really been devastating northern Saskatchewan, guys. 13,000 people have been evacuated to places like Regina, Saskatoon, and more recently Cold Lake, Alberta. The air quality index was a bit of a concern. Earlier this week, the winds blew in and it was about as bad as 10. So if you have a breathing problem, children, seniors, they recommended that you didn't go outside. There was a fear it might be that high today, but it has gone down, and so far, good conditions to play. By the way, the Riders donated several tickets, about between 500 and 800, to the evacuees here in Regina to watch a football game while they're here. So good job by the Riders, guys.
Yeah, we bumped into some of the folks that have been brought down from northern Saskatchewan, staying in the hotel, and our thoughts with all of them, and hope they can get back to their homes as soon as possible.
Yeah, and let me say on behalf of everyone here that we want to just thank all the people up there fighting those fires, putting their lives on the line to protect the people in those areas. Over 100, as Lee mentioned. And this morning at about 8:30, there was smoke all through Regina. It's blown through now.
Messam short gain, sets up 2nd down. Glenn from the pocket delivers. Pass is caught. Looks like it'll be short of the 1st down. As Rob Bagg has his first catch of the game. But a 2 and out. And the Roughriders will have to kick it away. So Ray early into punt, and Chad Owens has dropped deep, awaiting the kick inside his 25. Flag comes down as Early blasts it, and from the 15 it's Owens. And he's brought down up beyond the 25-yard line. We'll check the flag that was thrown at the snap of the football. Brandon Whitaker, a late training camp pickup, has been a force for the Argos, getting set to go back to work when we return. Football, the undefeated Red Blacks kick off against the Eskimos, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Live on TSN. An illegal formation for the Roughriders negates a 60-yard punt, and they have to do it all over again. And once again, around the 25-yard line, Chad Owens awaits the early kick. Another flag just inside the 30, and a big return. Away goes Owens across midfield. And let's find out if this stands. It was well away from the play. And did the Roughriders release too quickly that time? We'll find out if this Owens return stands. No, it's going against Toronto.
While the ball was in the air, holding Toronto number 23. 10-yard penalties enforced from where possession was gained. First down, Toronto.
Vince Agnew called on the hold. So a 60-yard punt was wiped out. Now a big return by Chad Owens of 36 yards negated.
A little bit of a strange fact here for Trevor Harris. To start this drive, he's going into what seems to be a win that's getting stronger by the minute here. But technically, this is his first road game. When his second start was in Fort McMurray, that was a home game for Toronto. And his first start was at home.
Those Argos are always tough in Fort McMurray. Oh, a fumble on that handoff. Who's got the football? Henry Josie into the game. The newcomer getting his first touch in the league, and he'd like to have a redo.
I'm just trying to take a look at whether or not that exchange was smooth from Trevor Harris, where he put the ball. The running back's got to keep his eyes down the field. No, it looked like it came out of his hands. Trevor Harris lost the handle, and it bounces off Josie's shoulder pads.
Terrific training camp. Looked like he'd be the guy. Didn't start last week as they went with the pass protection skills of Whitaker against Edmonton. Out of the backfield, a big hit there. Tristan Jackson steps up and makes the play.
And Tristan Jackson had a great view of that hit at the other end of the field by Tyron Brackenridge on the last play, on the last series, I should say. And as I mentioned, that becomes infectious. You want to be the next guy to make the big hit, and that's what Tristan Jackson accomplished.
Second-year receiver out of Manitoba, Anthony Coombs with the catch, but Roughriders have done a terrific job shutting down that short passing game of Trevor Harris so far. So now Peffer's got a kick into the wind. Decent boot. Real good boot to the 45. Jackson there. And a good return across midfield. 11 on the return and good field position. There's the former Rough Rider back in double blue. Let's check in with Lee Jones.
I had a chance to speak with Ricky Foley about returning to Saskatchewan for the first time since being traded to Toronto in the offseason. He mentioned that he was in Vancouver when he woke up and saw 20 messages on his phone and knew that something was up, and then found out that he was traded. Something he admitted was completely shocking at the time. Now that he's made the move, I asked about his emotions coming into this game, and he didn't really want to go into it too much, feeling he didn't want to become a distraction and just be able to concentrate on football. Now, guys, he was not in right now in this series. They were working on his back and lower leg, trying to loosen him up, as the defense has been on the bench a long time the last couple series with the offense out there. We'll have to keep an eye on that, guys.
Jason Jason Vega's in that spot right now. Kevin Glenn with a connection to Weston Dressler. Best rider fuel position start was the 53, but now down to the Argo 40.
Kevin Glenn going to a little tempo offense, calling the plays on the line of scrimmage.
Second time the Roughriders have had the ball with the win. Their first possession was a 2-and-out, but now a first down and a handoff to Messam off first contact, and second effort gets him a couple.
Kevin Glenn with the wind at his back now, takes some shots deep. And loosen up the secondary a little bit for the Toronto Argonauts.
Messam and Allen shuttling in and out, and Anthony Allen comes back in. 102 yards last week against Winnipeg. 2nd and 8 from the 38. Glenn over the middle. Rob Bagg stretched out and keeps him alive.
What a catch by Rob Bagg. That was behind him. Coming across, just sits down in the zone, and he has to extend to rip that one out of the air. Strong hands from Rob Bagg.
Top Canadian receiver last year. 54 catches, 803 yards, 10th in the league. Gets a big first down to keep it going, and now Glenn Richardson's got it. Fumbles the ball. Argos have it. Jermaine Gabriel picks it up, and now being ruled incomplete. And I'm not sure.
Ruling on the field is incomplete pass. Second down.
Toronto Argonauts are indicating that obviously they believe this was a catch and a fumble picked up by Jermaine Gabriel. Now let's take a look.
Brandon Underwood with the strip. Now Richardson tries to secure it.
And keep in mind, we're showing you in slow motion. Let's show you one in regular speed and see if you get
challenge flags come out, Suits. Took a step with it, at least a step. But was he juggling it as he tried to secure the football?
Looked a little awkward from the get-go as Richardson kind of came back to the ball.
Challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass. They believe that the pass was completed, fumbled, and recovered immediately by Toronto. The play will be reviewed.
So Scott Milanovich trying to win the challenge. What he won't win, even if he's successful, was Gabriel might have run aways with that football after the recovery.
With his defense backed up against in their own end, he'll take the turnover. And the question is, did Richardson secure the football, try to put it under that right arm in a football move, or was he still trying to juggle it? Was he still juggling it to try and gain possession?
Yeah, that's the question. Was he juggling the ball, or was he making the football move to get it safely onto the hip?
And here's regular speed again, just to get the pace. It looks like he puts it under his arm and is almost running with it for a step, but tough to tell. And remember that the ruling is incomplete on the field, so they have to find enough evidence to overturn that call.
And that might be the deciding factor.
Yeah, either way, if it was ruled a fumble, it would be the same dilemma for the officials. But a challenge for Scott Milanovich. He absolutely had to throw the challenge flag here. Let's take one more look from a different angle, and you see Jamel Richardson. He moves about 3 or 4 yards across the field there.
And I'm not sure he was juggling.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. It was an incomplete pass. It will be second down.
I think Scott Milanovich had to challenge that because of the 3 or 4 steps that Richardson took, but as we mentioned, I'm not sure there was enough evidence to overturn the call.
So after the incompletion at 2nd and 10, Anthony Allen back in. From the Argo 29. Glenn looking for Dressler. Holds on. It's a first down at the 15. Number 7 makes a difference in this Rough Rider offense.
Yeah, he does. Played in 8 games last year, coming back from his tryout in the National Football League. Little dig route out here on Underwood, and he knows he's going to get hit. Defensive lineman coming back. There's Cummings.
14 and a first down. Glenn in trouble, and he is dropped. Kevin Glenn taken down by Euclid Cummings, who has his second sack of the season.
Yeah, I got one up in Fort McMurray, and he's been a load to handle up front. In fact, one of the most impressive aspects of this Argo team that I don't think anyone talked about coming into the season was the play of their defensive front 7. All that Mike Riley could handle, and in fact, Riley was knocked out.